we all
preferably.
showed up for that.
Okay, we
So it's
are.
always great when we can get the whole council together. Also, I'm sure the free coffee.
Grocery store.
I
I always think it's funny though when I see my friends that live like over
an incentive.
like other parts of town, you know, and they're shopping at Fairway.
Yeah, I'm not-
because it's less convenient.
Couple of
They like it the best.
I just, I used to drag my leg here. It's better off to drag.
Go ahead and get started. Hiawatha regular council meeting, May 3rd, 2023. First things are pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sound like it's in stereo. Pretty good at that. Okay, roll call, please.
Steve Dotson,
Here.
Dick Olson,
Here.
Rob Archibald,
Here.
Amy Wickendall,
Here.
Jerry Mowinkle.
Here.
Approval of the agenda.
So, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the consent agenda.
Some of.
All in favor?
Aye.
Citizens input. You have any citizens? There is none. We're gonna move on. Reports from council, myself. Let's start with Dennis. You got a whole lot to say.
All right, well, just a couple of things. I do want to call out and let everybody know that Hiawatha was the recipient of a Healthy Iowa Hometown USA. This was an award powered by Wellmark Community Awards. An application was filled out by Kelly and Pat Parsley, Steam Community Development and Parks and Rec. The application was noting the developed master plan trail that we have in the parks, the city plaza that the city has added in the last few years, plus the added mile of paved trails to the Turtle Creek Trail system. Now, this award is $5,000 paid to the city of Hiawatha to continue improving the physical, social, and emotional well-being of the community. So, like I say, this was a statewide award. There were a lot of people up at Ames, and Kelly and Pat and Amber were there to receive the notification that Hiawatha was selected. So it's really
Good
kind of
job.
a big deal.
And,
Kudos.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Some good press on it.
Yes, it did.
Very happy to see that.
It's a very nice award. The second thing also comes out of the community development, and I forward this to everybody this afternoon, but it was some national recognition in a national journal was published in building safety. It's called the Building Safety Journal. And the title of this section was from the field, seven things code inspectors wish home owners knew. Our own Pat Parsley was actually named and quoted in here alongside his peers from California and North Dakota. So again, good recognition for the city of Hiawatha and all the good things that Pat and his team do in community development for our city. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you,
Pat.
Pat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're not worthy. Okay, anybody else got anything?
I attended the planning and zoning meeting. They had a light schedule. I think Pat had more to say than the panel, but what they did is they approved the final plat for Hiawatha East Second Edition, and we've seen that before. It has to deal with the merger of two lots, making one.
One lot, two lots.
Excuse me, we divided it. Solid.
All right, good.
Yesterday, several of us attended the State of the City address by Tiffany O'Donnell at the DoubleTree. Well attended, over 700 people there. Mayor Bennett and Mayor Alcee from Marion were called out and acknowledged their presentation and everything. It was a good turnout and a good chance to talk with some of our peers and business leaders in the area.
Yeah, we attended today's Medco meeting, John and Pat and Carrie and Dennis and I today, and they had about 600 people there and well attended and a lot going on over there. You got to give them that a boy. They're getting a lot of stuff done. So that was fun. Okay, anything else? Anybody? Okay, we'll move right on to business. We got 4 proclamations again this week. You guys, our last meeting, but I'll start with the first one. And the first one's the National Police Week. It's whereas in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day and the calendar week in which May 15th falls on National Police Week, and whereas the members of the law enforcement agency and the city of Hiawatha play an important role in safeguarding and rights of freedom and the citizens in our community, and whereas it is important for all citizens who are understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and that members of the department recognize the duties to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, protecting them against violence and destroying, right? And protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against aggressive or opposition
Pressure or
intimidation. And whereas an officer department has grown to be a model and significant law enforcement agency which uncertainly provides a vigilant public service, and now, therefore, I, Bill Bennett, Mayor of the City of Hiawatha, do recognize the week, May 14th, 2023, though through May 20th, 2023, as National Police Week, and further extend appreciation to our Hiawatha Police Department and to the law enforcement and vigil service, and perform their extraordinary dedication of the community they serve. And I will sign this, and we do appreciate them every day.
Absolutely.
Okay, the second one, is that one you, Rob?
I think I got that one, yeah.
Okay.
City of Hiawatha proclamation for Public Works. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Hiawatha. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Hiawatha to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2023 marks the 63rd annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association, be it now, therefore I, Rob Archibald, on behalf of Mayor Bill Bennett, Mayor of the City of Hiawatha, do hereby designate the week of May 21st through 27th, 2023 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life. So,
All right,
thank you to all our public works people.
there you go. Okay, you got the third one? Is that
The
you or
EMS
me?
week?
EMS week?
Is that me?
Yeah, I think that's you.
All right. EMS week. So City of Hiawatha proclamation, whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of our emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, And whereas emergency medical services has grown to fill a gap by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills, and whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. Now, therefore, I, Rob Archibald, on behalf of Bill Bennett, Mayor of the City of Hiawatha, do recognize the week of May 21st, 2023 through May 27th, 2023 as Emergency Medical Services Week, with the EMS Strong theme, EMS Week, where emergency care begins. I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
All right, excellent. Okay, the fourth one is Building Safety Month and proclamation from Hiawatha. Whereas our city is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and essential role of homes, buildings, and infrastructure play both in everyday life and when disaster strikes. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieving the devotion of the vigilance, guardians, building safety and fire protection officers, engineers, buildings, tradesmen, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work in essential or ensure the safe construction of the buildings. And whereas their guardians as members of the Industrial Code Council and as experts in the building environment, create the employment and the highest qualities, codes, and protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas it starts with you. The theme of Building Safety Month 2023, as sponsored by the Industrial Code Council, encourages all of us to raise awareness about building safety on the professional, local, and global scale. Now, therefore, I, Bill Bennett, Mayor of the City of Hiawatha, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2023 as Building Safety Month. I encourage our citizens to join us as we provide building safety, recognize our building safety officers, and celebrate Building Safety Month. All right. Perfect.
Four important proclamations, right? The
Yeah.
purpose of city government, local government, is to provide safety of citizens, and I think all four of those definitely play into the core business of the city. So thank you to all the city staff members that make that happen.
Exactly. Okay, they are signed, and let's move on. Okay, number 12, public hearing to consider FY 2023 budget amendment. Oh, okay. Open public hearing at 5:57. No, 5:43. Did we receive anything in the mail?
No.
Anybody in the audience like to speak in behalf? Anybody opposed? If not, we'll close the public hearing at 5:43. A, consider resolution adopting the FY 2023 budget amendment.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Dick Olson.
Aye.
Rob Archibald.
Aye.
Amy Wickendall.
Aye.
Jerry Mowinkle.
Aye.
Steve Dotson.
Aye.
Number 13, that's you. Come on up, Maggie. Tell us about our wonderful rates.
Sounds good, everyone. I'm Maggie Berger with Spear Financial. We had two bond sales today for you. The first one is our general obligation. This is our usual, let's say, time of the year, and we're issuing for your capital improvements program. We took a different approach this year. We actually had a negotiated sale for both this and the local option sales tax. So a little bit of a difference today where we worked with the underwriter on negotiating terms, interest rates. They have an order period where they actually go into the market, and so there's no competitive sale, but they go into the market. So the first issuance in front of you should reflect a $2,920,000 general obligation capital loan note, Series 2023A. We are recommending that you would award this evening to D.A. Davidson and Company, who is the underwriter, at 3.6267%. We show you that the interest rates started at 5% and go down through 2031 at 5%, and then they drop to a 4%. There's definitely some unhinging in the market as to where interest rates they believe they'll be in 10 to 12 years from now. I want to give you a little perspective on this just to show you what has happened over the last 2 years. Your 2020 issuance of GO for capital improvements was a 1.28%. Your 2021 was a 1.0171, and remember this is pandemic, 1 year into the pandemic. The 2022, with only one rate increase by the Federal Reserve at the time, went to a 2.99%. Now, since that time, the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates 4% and then actually 0.25% today. So 4.25 since that time, this time last year. And you're only seeing from a 2.99 to a 3.62. So again, I want to point out that your interest rates are not going to always move in the same direction as the Federal Reserve. Although they went up, people are, the idea is that that's the short-term borrowing rate for the federal government and for banks and systems. And so this, you're not going to see a reflective, 6% interest rate like you're seeing on your mortgages. Remember, these general obligation bonds are tax exempt, meaning they are not federally, the people that receive the income off of you from interest, they do not pay federal income taxes on that. May not be important to me, but someone who has a lot of money, that's very, very important to them. So as part of today's general obligation and sales tax revenue debt, we did go out for ratings. It was also a concerted effort to change rating agencies this year. So we went out with a rating request from S&P Global Ratings instead of the Moody's service. We're happy to report that S&P has assigned a AA- long-term rating to the city of Hiawatha. Technically, in the world of ratings, that is one notch higher than your rating last year. So although we cannot call that an upgrade because it is not with the same rating agency, technically you got an upgrade. And so we're happy about that. The effort and the idea behind that was you really didn't think you were making traction with Moody's. And it is hard to get an upgrade. It is hard to get an upgrade post-pandemic. It is hard to get an upgrade in a rate increasing environment. So there was an idea to go out and try with S&P, and we're very happy with the results at that point in time. That puts you into a different category. The outlook on this rating, although it says AA-, minus and pluses are just their way of saying you're at the top of the AA or the bottom of the AA, but does not have any negative impact to it. They do talk about how you have posted strong operational performance, how the valuation of the city has grown based on the metropolitan area that you are in. It also talks that your trend of general fund surpluses is fantastic and that you have good governance and management. Again, they look heavily upon the idea that your finance department, your management is giving you monthly information, so you're able to keep track of where things are financially within your city, like having a budget amendment today and understanding the logic behind that. So we're very happy with that rating report. We go past that ratings report. We have your final debt service schedule. These bonds are callable after June 1st of 2031. So even on a negotiated sale, the bonds are always callable. We haven't talked about calling bonds in early for refunding in a lot of years, but these are something that will absolutely hit our calendar when we get close to that 2031 date to be watching and see if interest rates are lower and if there is truly any savings by the time you pay for cost of issuance to do that. We have to make sure that there's net savings. A little different from in the past just due to the negotiated sale. We do give you bond comparables then. So we did want to give you Iowa City's bond comparables. And what you're really doing is you're comparing these The first page and then the second page is where you came in at, with also a comparable. We've got 3 comparables here: Iowa City, Worth County, Iowa, and then the city of Waterloo. You're looking at really the yield, and so your interest rates or the coupon rates are 5%, down to a 3% at the end for Iowa City, but you're really looking at the yield where it ranges from that 3.1 down to that 3.05. That's what the yield is, what the investors are buying these on. That's what they're pricing on, is the yield. It's easy to sell a 5% interest rate bond, but they're going to actually get the yield, and so that's very important to them. We think that the deal that you got today comps out very favorably. I want to point out Iowa City is a AAA credit. They are the highest credit rating that you can have. So they are always going to have a little bit better yield position than anyone. Worth County falls right in line with where you're at, AA rating, bank qualified, and that really aligns well with where we saw the interest rates and the spreads from that interest rate to that yield today. And then the City of Waterloo was sold about a week ago, and those had 4% interest rates all the way down. Again, that was a 15-year like you're doing, and those yields tie out very comparably. And actually, their yields are a little higher, meaning your yields came in a little bit less, which is good for you guys. So that is the first issuance. I would answer any questions that you have for this first item on your agenda.
No, excellent job. As
Would
always.
you like me to speak to the second item before you take action, or do you want to take action first?
How is it on the agenda?
It's item 4.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would say just do it, and unless there's any reason not to.
Go ahead and,
Just have her do this
okay,
presentation.
go ahead and do the second one. Then we'll
All right,
take action on
sounds
both of them. Yep, thank you.
so similar to what we were just talking about, the DA Davidson has made a proposal here for $4,740,000 of local option sales and service tax revenue bonds, Series 2023B. Should be noted that we were basing this on a price that you needed $5 million in hand. Again, with the premium that they're going to pay you, and I should have mentioned that, we were able to downsize both sizes of the bonds, and that's good for you. That saves you a little bit on debt capacity and such. So this true interest rate is a 3.5770, and now you're going to say, well, Maggie, that's a lower interest rate than the GOs, and how is a revenue bond lower? This bond is 10 years, your GO bond is 15 years. So that's really where you're going to see the division of that interest rate, is that 5 years of added maturity on the GO. This bond aligns with your local option sales tax that is for your fire station project. These interest rates are 5% all the way down. You do have a standalone rating for this, and it is an A-. Again, the minus not meaning anything negative. There's a stable outlook, but it puts you at the bottom of the A range. This is anticipated. We typically see 2 to 3 a 2 to 3 notch differential in the rating when you are talking about general obligation, which is backed by the full faith and credit of you, the city, and the ability to levy the property taxes. Sales tax revenue bonds are based on the sales tax, and there's always the risk that we will all quit spending money, right, on things and going shopping. And if that happens, then obviously your sales tax receipts could slump off a little. So there's always going to be risk, and you're going to see that. It definitely does speak to the fact that you are in a high, a designated area in Lynn County with an MSA that is going to give you a very good, strong performance with local option sales tax. They definitely notice that. We also have to make sure that we have a coverage factor, meaning that there are more revenues coming in sales tax than obviously what this debt is. Just like when you go in and try to get a mortgage, right? You've got to make more money than what your payment is going to be. That's the same here. Their requirement and the requirement of the bonds is a 1.25, meaning you're making 25% more in the actual revenues of the local option sales tax to what you're actually paying out. Your coverage is technically a 1.76%. So you're well above where that coverage factor needs to be. So this goes on for a couple of pages and just talks about, again, they would lower the rating if there was a deterioration of the pledged local option sales tax, meaning that we fell into a slump, but there would be other obviously consequences to that. The final debt service schedule for that 10 years is on the page after the ratings report. That is also callable in 2031. Again, this is 10 years, so you have about 3 years that remain. At the call feature, I'll remind everybody, you not only can refinance, you can just continue to pay on the debt if you want to, because maybe interest rates are at the same or not much different. You also at that time could pay off in whole or in part, meaning that if you had local option sales tax receipts ahead and you wanted to pay some of this debt off, you would be able to do that at that time. From a bond comparable, we gave you 2 comparisons here. Your local option sales tax pricing is here, and again, we're talking about, yield of somewhere around 3.19 to about 3.41. We've got Whitehall School District in Wisconsin, their issuance of debt, and again, it is a AA because it is insured. These were insured to get you a AA rating from an insurance perspective. So again, we're tying right out with those. We also ran another one here for you. It's the Board of Regents for the Oklahoma Agricultural and Mechanical Colleges. So just like the Iowa Board of Regents issues revenue debt from time to time, this one, and it ties out with that yield very nicely. So we're definitely seeing you guys in the right yield position. So again, we believe that these are 2 proposals that should be accepted for the city this evening.
Perfect. Any questions?
Credit to the staff.
Yeah.
And kudos to Rusty.
Yeah.
We put Cindy and Dennis through the ringer this year because of changing rating agencies. There were all kinds of new questions that needed to be answered. There were all kinds of new documentation that needed to be provided that, has not been in the hands of this rating agency before. So, and with 2 bond issues, 2 different security sourced bond issues, there were just lots of questions that had to be answered and decisions that had to be made. So we thank them very much. They've been very attentive and we appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was excellent.
Yeah,
Good
great.
decision to
Yeah.
switch to the S&P versus Moody's, and that's reflected in these reports, so.
Right. And, both agencies have kind of their own niche as to what they're looking and how they're rating things. And we really just felt there was a good push at this point in time. We saw some results, and I will say there were some results coming out of a couple of other cities of similar size to you who had done the same thing over the last year, and they were receiving those increases, that 1 notch increase in rating. And so that really was a driver as to maybe we should make this switch.
Perfect. Equals to a lot of money. That
Right.
1% driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, thank you very much,
Great
Maggie.
job as
Thank
always.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go right on to 13. Consider resolution directing the applicants of a proposal and purchase $3.1 million amount subject to change, general obligation capital loan notes series 2023A.
So moved. Oh, second.
Roll call.
Rob Archibald,
Aye.
Amy Wickendall,
Aye.
Jerry Mowinkle,
Aye.
Steve Dotson,
Aye.
Dick Olson,
Number 14, consider resolution directing the applicants of the proposal of purchase $5 million suggested or dollar amount subject to change, local option sales and service tax revenue bond series 2023B.
So moved.
Roll call.
Amy Wickendall,
Aye.
Jerry Mowinkle,
Aye.
Steve Dotson,
Aye.
Dick Olson,
Aye.
Rob Archibald,
Aye.
All right. Number 15, consider resolution approving final plot and development agreement for Hiawatha East Second Edition.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Jerry Mowinkle,
Aye.
Steve Dotson,
Aye.
Dick Olson,
Aye.
Rob Archibald,
Aye.
Amy Wickendall,
Aye.
Number 16, consider resolution awarding mosquito control 2023.
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
One of the things that we get the most feedback about, so
There you go.
it's a good thing.
It's a great service, though.
Yep.
Mosquito control and trash amnesty day, 2 important things.
Yep.
Make sure we make them aware.
Putting stuff out of the curb line.
There you, yeah, you're starting to pile up. Roll call, please.
Steve Dotson,
Aye.
Dick Olson,
Aye.
Rob Archibald,
Aye.
Amy Wickendall,
Aye.
Jerry Mowinkle,
Aye.
Number 17, consider resolution approving design amendment number 3 for the Springbrook and Edgewood Road Lift Station Upgrade Project.
Second.
Roll call.
Dick Olson.
Aye.
Rob Archibald.
Aye.
Amy Wickendall.
Aye.
Jerry Moinkle.
Aye.
Steve Dodson.
Aye.
Number 18, consider resolution approving and making award the contract for the 2023 cold storage facility project.
So
Second.
Discussion.
Ron, be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yep. Yeah.
The estimate came in right on target, so.
Better than the last one.
Yeah,
Just
Yes.
say.
We're still sticker shock on that one.
paced away.
Roll call, please.
Rob Archibald.
Aye.
Amy Wickendall.
Aye.
Jerry Moinkle.
Aye.
Steve Dodson.
Aye.
Dick Olson.
Aye.
Number 19, consider resolution authorizing application for Corridor Metropolitan Planning Organization for regional transit funding and committing to provide local matched funds contingent upon award and applicant of the transportation grants funds, Boyson Road for Hawkeye Drive to Robbins Road.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Amy Wickendall.
Aye.
Jerry Moinkle.
Aye.
Steve Dodson.
Aye.
Dick Olson.
Aye.
Rob Archibald.
Aye.
Number 20, consider resolution approving and making award the contract for the Hiawatha Sidewalk Maintenance Program, third phase.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Another good job on this, guys, John and Pat.
I was really surprised by the spread in the bids,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
happy with the one that we got, so.
Get it done. Roll call.
Jerry Moinkle.
Aye.
Steve Dodson.
Aye.
Dick Olson.
Aye.
Rob Archibald.
Aye.
Amy Wickendall.
Aye.
And number 21, consider resolution approving the purchase of 3 non-contact flow meters.
Second.
Roll call.
Steve Dodson.
Aye.
Dick Olson.
Aye.
Rob Archibald.
Aye.
Amy Wickendall.
Aye.
Jerry Moinkle.
Aye.
Number 22, special event application submitted by Lost Hope Animal Rescue.
So moved.
Want to tell us what it's all?
I'm just here if you have questions.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to tell us what you're up to.
You want to do the help?
Yeah, always.
Do you want us to come up?
Yeah. Or we can hear you if you don't want to.
Yeah, this is Amanda, Amanda Rushton. She runs Last Hope for us.
Awesome.
What? So we, for the last 7 years, we've done it's our largest fundraiser of the year. We've done it at Nuvo.
Mhm.
So this is our 19th year as a rescue. We're 100% volunteer run nonprofit. This event is vital to the continued success of Last Hope, as we don't get state or federal funding. What we're looking at is honestly to move our event. We've been down at Nuvo City Market for about 7 years, and truthfully, we've outgrown the space. The event is a very family-friendly event, although it is Barks and Brew and there's beer involved in it. It is a very family-friendly event. And it's a chance for us to get out in the community, introduce a lot of our adoptable animals, and honestly get some more volunteers involved too. So what we're asking is if we would be able to move to Hiawatha with this event. And we do think that Guthrie Park would have a really nice setup for us. We have bands and it's live music, there's a bounce house for the kids. The biggest thing for us is kind of containing it and keeping it fenced in a little bit. But yeah, we've been doing it for a few years now, so it's kind of a science in terms of getting it set up and keeping crowd control on it. But we'd love to have you guys if you have us.
Barks and Brews, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it started originally as a beer tasting, sampling event, and a lot of the local breweries will donate their products to us through the help of like 7G. So essentially adults are paying to get we call it a VIP ticket, but they're coming in and able to do some sampling. So they're talking directly to the brewers. It's all 100% local in that aspect with it. It's not Budweiser and Busch Light. You know what I mean? So it's a little, so it's a little different, and it helps us to kind of spotlight some more local businesses too. and put that front and center. But we do, that's just one aspect of it, and it's really important to us to kind of have more of a general admission feel to it and make sure that it is family friendly and that, everybody can be there.
So we have bounce houses and face painters and just,
Yeah, we
we
do
got a lot of
silent
activities for kids as well. And so we kind of segregate the band part and the family part a little bit. And then we have a silent auction, which is how we raise most of the money.
which is a large draw for us.
So what kind of attendance should you get?
So again, we're looking at when we've been in like Nubo City area, we're usually in a ticketed attendance of 300 to 500 individuals. We are not tracking 12 and under on that because we've not charging anything to it. We took 1 year off with COVID and, we had a great strong year after it. So it's kind of, I have to look at the aggregate on it, but, I would anticipate still to be strong in the at least 250 to 350 range this year.
Yeah, we
Not
think we
strong.
might see a dip by moving, but we also think that it might, actually might benefit us as well. But
Right.
we're expecting maybe a slight dip just from people not knowing.
Just awareness to it, but I think our long-term goal would be to continue to do it here annually. And I think the benefits of, increased parking, a larger footprint for us, that's really some heavy lifting when you're looking at some of these events with it. And then the ability to be able to include vendors that you guys have already used when you do like your food truck events, and be able to invite some of them there. To me, it feels like a
Good fit.
setup to, to
Yep.
continue to move forward with the event.
Perfect.
It's our most popular event of the year. It's super, we've never had any issues with people getting rowdy or anything. It's not a big, the cups are this big. So
It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So it's more sad than disappointment, craft brews.
It's paying in advance for disappointment, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sampling of, so traditionally, the way that it has been set up has been that you're getting a sampling glass. And then it's local breweries and some local wineries will attend as well. And you just try to cap the setup on it. So if you have an event, it'll run 3 to 7. I'll cap the distribution from 3 to 6 so that you have an hour then after, while your event ends, that we're able to kind of wrap up like silent auction stuff and corral people without interfering with moving vendors out kind of thing.
Yeah, that
So
should prevent any kind of rowdyism. I mean, it's not a beer tent kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, wasn't super hot wild. It's definitely not like a hot wild. You guys know. So, I know, yes, right? That's like, he's like, oh.
Oh, there's a lot of good times at
It
Hot
will
Wild.
be wild. It'll be fun, so.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well,
Well,
doesn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
That sounds much better.
Yeah, and we have a proven track record with what we've done. And we've grown it every year. Well, and but it's been it's a smooth event for us. This will probably test us a little bit to see if we really know what we're doing.
It's totally changed
The footprint.
So will there be dogs there?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Adoptable
and
dogs,
then
and we do.
Families can bring their dogs? or
Yes,
allow
we
them
encourage that, and honestly.
Friendly to other dogs.
Yeah, it's really neat because we'll see people who have adopted from us in the past or clients of Cedar Run, a lot of our Cedar Run clients. So moving to Hiawatha is it's a no-brainer, I think, for us because we do kind of pander to our core demographic there.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sonia owns Cedar Run Company, which has 2 locations in Hiawatha now. So
Mhm.
we will have dogs in attendance. They are leashed on our end. And then, the biggest thing for us is we segregate if we need to where our dogs are with the use of pop-up tents, and we kind of can put them in the outskirts too, so that it's the general public can walk in with their dogs that normally go to the park and kind of go to the fringes if they want to do meet and greets.
So we segregate the adoptable dogs. We make that well known. That's where the volunteers will stay with them. They'll walk through the crowd a little bit, but we're really mindful to make sure that there's no issues.
Yes, who's in attendance and how
Yeah,
they're
we don't
actually-
bring
Perfect.
a dog reactive dog to events. So
Welcome to Hiawatha.
Yeah.
The police force is looking for.
Yeah.
And I applaud you guys for your dedication on this rescue thing. I mean, you guys, wonderful. Yeah. All right, great.
We're on PCRG tonight for it.
Yeah.
I
Perfect.
did a surprise interview today, and I was like, oh, okay.
Perfect. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, guys, consider motion approving the special events application and held Barks and Brews at Guthridge Park on August 12th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's it for tonight. Nothing else. Anybody got anything?
No, I don't think so. We had a productive work session, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 6:10, something like that.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
that'll be fun. Yep.